Welcome to the YouTube video. This video will be two sections. You have one part build guide and one part tier list. The tier list is going to be first, the build guide is going to be second. It's pretty simple. It's just what I think about the meta right now, what my recommendations. Hope you guys enjoy it. Drop a like if you do, and enjoy the video. Later. So here is my tier list, and the way I separated them this time is just into three categories. First being the top 100 picks. These are the picks you'll probably see in the SPL and in rank the most. They're just the best right now. The second category is just going to be the playable gods that I think you can pick and you could do okay with. You can probably get some wins with, but you're not going to be able to hard carry it like you can with the top gods. And the third category is just the unplayable gods that I don't think you should really pick if you want to win. But yeah, so I'll just talk about these guys one by one for the start, just to tell you why they're here. So on her, I think that he is the best. He's one of the best because he has the best 1v1 mid game. He can always win lane. He always wins the 1v1. You can just pressure the other ADC, and you do a lot of damage with your passive that gives you a flat pen, which is nice because builds right now it's kind of hard to get pen. Heim, I think he is safest hunter if you know how to use your 3 properly. He also does a lot of damage because his autos hit for 1.25 instead of 1. Don't know what that means. Look at his stats and then go to his auto damage. And then Chernobog and Apollo I think are very similar characters. They don't win lane that hard, but globals on this map are just insanely powerful and strong. You don't really have to win lane if you can just rotate to a team fight mid game and win it for the team without even fighting your lane opponent, you know? And then Cupid. Cupid is still very annoying to some characters. Most of these characters actually do good into Cupid, but if you pick most of these characters, Cupid just ults them off cooldown, gets their beads, and destroys them. And then Danza. Danza, kind of the least safe hunter here, I would say, but he does a lot of damage with his autos, and his 1 and his 2 and his 3 is a really good ability. His 4 can be used really well. You guys probably know how good Danza is. He's really annoying to play against, but I think he is probably up here with the top 100 picks. So I'd say these 6 guys are what you want to pick if you want to win your games right now. So for this rank of gods, I just said they're playable. These gods are guys that you can pick and you won't do anything crazy with, but you know, you'll be able to win games. I can go through them real quick just to tell you their strengths, I guess. Or I guess their weaknesses would probably be better, right? So Jingwei just doesn't really do as much damage to their gods and has a really weak early game. Kernanos does good damage, but he's kind of just like a worse Heim in my opinion. Like, they do this about the same damage, but Kernanos is not safe at all. He has no CC immunity, he only has a dash, and he's easy to kill. Yi, terrible jump, not the best damage, low attack speed, doesn't really work with the builds right now. Expel hits kind of hard, has very bad counter picks. That's another thing about this class. They kind of all just have a lot of counter picks. Like Fenrir destroys this guy and this guy very bad. But yeah, Expel does good damage. Just doesn't have a very good build right now because you kind of want trans on him, but trans builds aren't very good. Hachi does good damage and is pretty safe, but he's just not as good as these guys, to be honest. I mean, Hachi's probably one of the best out of this class actually, just because of his safety and his damage, and he can also go Hunter's Cal every game. So I'd probably put Hachi at the top tier of this tier. Uller right now doesn't really have any good builds. Like I said, trans builds aren't really meta, so he kind of struggles right now. Although I don't think Uller's that bad. I think he's definitely playable. Chiron does good damage as well. Chiron probably another guy that's at the top tier of this tier just because he has very long range good damage, but like some other gods, the builds just aren't really that good for him. If you go trans, you can't really go Aussie, so your like health sustain's not good. Bluestone isn't the best right now. There's just not very good builds for them. AMC can definitely pop off, honestly, but he's AMC. He'll always be easy to gank. He'll always have counter picks. I don't think he's ever going to be like top tier ADC. Kronos, I think, is the best magical ADC. I think he actually is playable. You just got to build Rod, Pythags, Telkines, stuff like that. and he can do work, but nothing compared to these guys. Izanami, a lot of pressure, but easily countered by this guy, this guy, this guy. Just bad matchups, and this guy. Like, honestly, just very bad matchups into the top tiers all around for Izzy. And Izzy's always going to get camped and ganked and easy to kill. Dusa, just block the dash, free kill. Very easy guy to kill. Does good damage if you let her, but just easiest god to kill. Same with Rama. I really haven't been liking Rama recently. He's one of my favorite gods, but when I've tried him recently, he just feels terrible. When I'm against him, he feels terrible. He's just very, very easy to bully for all these characters and just doesn't bring anything to the table that these guys don't. And the trees, I know it's getting changed next patch, but the trees do hurt. Okay, and this next tier, I would just say do not play these gods. Stay away from these gods. To be honest, you could probably put like some of these guys in here, but I think these guys are just the worst of the worst. Freya, Oleron, and Soul. Just magical ADCs are not good right now. Don't have good items. It's pretty much simple as that. Also, their kits aren't even, well, Freya's kit's definitely good, but yeah, they're just bad. They have no good items. Scotty, I don't know how anyone wins with Scotty right now. The few times I've played Scotty, it's literally just felt like what do I do? Full pen doesn't work anymore, like full flat pen doesn't work that well. You can't really build Scotty auto attack based. It's just miserable. Neath, honestly, maybe should belong here, but I think Neath is just pretty bad. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I would actually put Neath either low up here or high up here. I mean, Neath can play, she can impact some fights from afar with her global, but I don't know. Neath's just Neath. She kind of sucks. Same thing with Artemis. Artemis, like, I don't know how anyone wins with Artemis either. You can't survive ganks at all. You just die. If people play correctly, they just bees and kill you. And you don't really do much. So, that's my tier list for right now. I would say definitely pick these guys. If you have favorites in here, you can pick them. And if you like these guys, I feel bad for you because these guys are not playable. And in the next section of this video, I will tell you guys what to build on these characters. So let's go. Okay, for the build guide part of this video, I'm gonna be just going through the build that I've been going a lot that I really like, and then I'll mention a few other builds that can work as well. So almost every game, if I am playing legitly, like this is the build I've been going. It does salt. You got T1 Spiked Gauntlet, 2 health, 2 multis. I think this is very strong right now. A lot of sustain. Can easily farm up to full devs and just get your items online. Your first back, you likely want to go devs just to get that stacking item online as fast as possible. And when you get this stacked, you get a good spike, so you want to get that first. If you die early, sometimes you have to go T2 boots, which is the next item. But either way, these two are your first 2 items. Get them online and you'll be in good shape. Unless you just add a lot, but yeah. Next item. I am a huge advocate for the oboe. I know some people like Exy, some people like Kins. I'm a huge fan of oboe third. I really think oboe is the best hunter item right now. And like, even when I just have this, like in little like 3v3 skirmishes, like in mid or in Gold Fury, like when I look at the recap, my oboe will be doing 300 to 400 to like everyone, and that's just insane because you just hit the frontliners and it hits the backliners. I think this is hands down best hunter item in the game right now. I get it almost every game here when I'm doing this build. It's just amazing. And then next I go Kins, because Kins helps you deal with the tanks, has good power, good attack speed. It's just a good curve because this item's cheap, this item's expensive. And then you get these 4 items. You feel pretty good against almost, like, you feel really good against tanks. You feel okay against some junglers. The 1v1 against ADCs, this isn't the best 1v1 build, guys. This isn't an Iqval, Bloodforge build. Like, this isn't a crazy 1v1 build. This is just a solid build. So that when you get in the team fights, you do a lot of damage and you out team fight the other ADC. And so right now you have this, this, right? At this point in the game, you're normally about level 18-ish, I want to say. So you have two options. You could either rush your pen item last, because we are going to be going pen last, or you can save up for Death Embrace. The choice is really up to you. Just depends on how much pen you need. If you really think about it, you're going from 15 fizz power to 65 fizz power, because it's always Death Embrace, right? So when I think about it, I just think about, like, what do I really need right now? This is a 50 power spike, so you're getting 50 power. You're gaining a little bit of health, if that makes a difference, and you're gaining sustain, which could definitely make a difference. With Embrace, you can tank Fire Giant for free. You don't take any damage with Death Embrace and Gauntlets on Fire Giant. One of the biggest reasons I think you go it. And yeah, so this is a 50 power spike, right? 50 power spike and sustain spike. But oh yeah, and last item I would recommend either Xe if you don't have an attack speed steroid, or Titan's Bane if you have an attack speed steroid. Titan's Bane actually works better, but I think if you go Titan's Bane with this build on non-steroid gods like on her, it's going to be rough, because you're not even going to be sitting above 2.0 attack speed, which is a no-no for late game Hunter. So I think you have to go Xe on... Also, Xe works really well with on her because of his passive applies after Xe. So on like on her, Danza, Heim... Honestly, Danza, I'm not sure. But on Heim and on her, I get away with Xe. I really don't like it, honestly, as my only pen option, but I think it's the best option here because Titan's Bane loses a little bit of attack speed. So full build would look like this. Death Embrace would look like this. And with this, you can just... Your team fight is so strong. You have Pen, you have Kins, you have attack speed, you have Oboe, you have Death Embrace, you have Devos, insane healing, insane damage, insane kill on anyone, honestly. This is the build I recommend. It's just really good. And honestly, most of the time, I do end up getting Pen before Death Embrace because I already have Devos for lifesteal, so I think the Pen is more important most of the time, but that's the full build. It's pretty cheap as well. I mean, 23, 15, 21, 22, 27, 21, like, not very expensive items, so you get this build online fast, and you destroy. Okay, so I do want to mention two other... Well, I want to mention Crit, and I also want to mention Cal, because I think Cal right now is probably the second best starter by far, and I think it's actually very close to being as good as Death Toll, but I think Death Embrace is still the best. Even though, like, the big problem with Leather Cal, right, is your early game you have no mana, which kind of makes it a little, like, less solid. Like, you'll probably get, like, you'll probably be able to back for Devos, like, 90% of the time with Death Toll, and, like, maybe 80% with Cal, and I think that does make a difference, because you just want to get your build online. And also you have to worry about your mana. You can't really spam abilities and farm efficiently, which is why I still think Death Toll's the best. I don't really want to mention Gilded because I think Gilded is the worst right now, unfortunately. Just because they buffed Death Toll to 15 power, and Gilded had 15 power, so you never win the fight with 15 basic attack damage on Gilded. But I'm just kind of rambling right now, so this is the one item I will recommend. If you play Hachiman, definitely go Leather Cow. If you just experiment with it, because the thing is, if you go Cow, you can go Titan's Bane even on non-steroid gods because this gives so much attack speed. And this full build is very nice as well. But you honestly still take damage from fire with this, which is crazy, but so it's either between this, like on Anher and Heim, it's between this or this. Experiment with them. I personally think Death Toll is just more solid, and Death Embrace is just more solid in team fights. And I think Xe's fine, but I do like this build a lot. Try this build out as well. But now let's talk about I just want to talk about crit real fast, because if you do want to go crit, I think you still start the same. And then what do you go? You have this. So, and then you have the options of Rage. I mean, just the cookie cutter build is Rage, Xe, Wind Demon. This build is solid as crap. And you will, this build is just a very solid crit build. You'll have 65% pen. You'll have a lot of attack speed with Wind Demon. You'll have Dust Embrace. You'll have Devos. I think there's an argument for selling Dust Toll with this and getting another crit item, but this is like a very solid build. I will mention one other build that's kind of floating around because people build it in SCC right now, which is, this will be the last build, but it's a Gilded Arrow build, which I know I just said is bad, but this is it's actually playable. So you go this, you just go, you go Wind Demon, you go Deathbringer, and you go Ornate Bow. Which, honestly, this build actually feels really good when I play with it. I've only bought it like twice, but I've won both games and I've done a lot of damage. It's kind of just a funny build. I don't know. It works, to be honest. Ornate's really good. It's getting buffed next patch. Next patch, this build's even going to get better, so we'll see. But those are the builds I've been building right now. I hope this guy helped you guys. Appreciate you guys watching. Drop a sub if you support me. And check out the Twitch link in description. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.